Hey, what's up guys? This is Josh Dragon here, and today we're going to be starting a new adventure with Bucky O Hare for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This game was released by Konami back in the year 1992, and it's another one of those games I played really early in my life. I remember this one, I think I was about 5 years old the first time I played it. Really cool game, great music as you can probably tell. Konami of course is known for their fantastic ability with the music in games. And the game style here, being a platformer, is very similar to Mega Man in a lot of respects. So, just a classic game, but extremely difficult, so I wouldn't recommend this to someone who wants more of a casual challenge. Alright, so we're going to be starting off this playthrough by taking on the green planet first. You can start with any of the planets, but the green one is the easiest because it has the fewest number of instant deaths and bottomless pits to kill you. So, if you want to get warmed up for the controls, or you just want something that's a little bit easier to take on first, I highly recommend the green planet. And another added bonus here is that there's some 1-ups that you'll get early on, and the enemies here are really easy to kill, like the toads and the gun turrets. They only take 1 bullet each to kill, so this is a great place to get warmed up in. I find the controls actually for this game to be really good. Like, you know, in some games you kind of slide a little bit once you stop moving, and it's not like this with Bucky. His jumping is very precise, and his movement is very precise, so I would kind of expect that from a company like Konami that makes great quality games, but this one definitely lives up to all of that stuff. This is a life extension bar, which is very important to get. You want to get as many of those as you can because over time that will increase your maximum life. Now, an important point to note here is that you'll lose that if you game over, so one of the most important things is to try to get a high number of lives and hopefully not lose too many of them, because you lose all the maximum life when you game over, and I think you keep the power, but the life definitely goes away, so try to avoid the deaths as much as you can. This is kind of a cool little section here. It's entirely vertical, and you can avoid most of these enemies by just kind of moving around them and shooting them. Since Bucky can shoot in all 4 directions, you shouldn't have too much difficulty getting around these guys. Sometimes those earthworms can be a little bit of a pain, but they're usually not too bad. If you ever get right on top of a spider, just jump and you'll usually avoid the bullet that'll come right at you. This part I like to take fast because I just find it helps with the momentum of the character a little bit. I feel like when I take it slow, it's just harder, plus to get the timing right. And the other thing is that some of these tree branches will fall off, so you have to be very careful of that. That section I just passed right there with the 1-up, you want to make sure that you don't let the log drop too low, otherwise it will fall off and you'll die. It's a very risky move, but I know that if I let it go just low enough, I can get that 1-up. So. And then for this part with the log and the water and the fish, just duck and shoot the fish kind of when you get right on top of them. Now here's an important trick here. The music sometimes will crescendo, and as soon as it crescendos you want to jump right off of the log and get onto the tree branch. I usually use that as a tell for when I need to jump. For this part, there's a life on the left-hand side. There's actually a couple of them, so I usually try to stay on the left-hand side to grab the lives. Unfortunately, I missed them both. It's a little bit luck-based here, I have to admit, so I'll be grabbing the extra life increase at the end of this level. Now, this is a very tricky section, and there's a couple ways you can handle it. One is to let these toad rockets pass you and then jump when they're not there. That's kind of hard to do because they're usually on the screen. Another way you can do it is to jump when you're on one of the taller ledges onto the toad rocket and then jump to the next toad rocket that's just past that one. It makes it a little bit easier, but an important point to notice that if you jump into the Toad Rocket, it will knock you down and usually into the pit, so be very careful with your jumps here. To get this power up, we're going to jump on the lower Toad Rocket, and then the next highest one, and you can just reach that end limit extension. This guy can be very, very difficult if you don't know what to do. The first thing you want to do is to stand as close as you can to him and avoid his boulder because that's a one-hit kill. Then he's going to run and lunge at you and you want to jump over him both times and shoot him in the back. He's only vulnerable when he's facing away from you, so the rest of the time you won't be able to inflict any damage on him. I would say this is a pretty difficult boss for a first level, stage, but as long as you follow the pattern perfectly, you won't have any trouble with him, especially if you have a life extension, because he can't really do that much damage to you, but the boulder, of course, is a one-hit kill. Now, there's one thing I want to point out that I was making a mistake here on, and that was that I was ducking and shooting him, and when I duck and shoot, that actually doesn't damage him, so don't duck and shoot, just jump over him, turn away from him, shoot him, and he should go down without too much difficulty. Just about done here, and voila, finished. Alright, so with that, we've now rescued Blinky, who is probably not one of the more useful members in Bucky's party, but he's extremely important for the ice world because he destroys the ice blocks that you'll encounter in that place, so they'll be coming in handy in a few videos from now.
Alright guys, so in the next part we are going to be taking on the Red Planet. I want to thank you so much for watching my LP run of Bucky O Hare, and I will see you next time. This is Josh Dragon signing out.